Vasudevaya. Namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarvatim vyasam tito jayam virayat Shendata swatata krishna pranyashavani kirtanam Hiriyanto svabhajvani gurunati surichitam Namaskritya bhadreshu nityam Bhagavati Namaskritya Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki Reading from text 12. Actually, the next few verses 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, oh, marami. 19, 20, 20, we're purple at 20, but we're at 12. So, maybe see if I can discuss something based on the translation. Anyway, I'll recite the text. Tat kaliya param veda nanya kaschana leliha avatsid garudadvita Krishnena cha vivashita Tat kaliya param veda Nanya kaschana leliha Avatsid garudadvita Krishnena cha vivashita Tat kaliya param veda Nanya kaschana leliha Avatsid garudadvita Krishnena cha vivasita Tat kaliya param veda Nanya kaschana leliha Avatsid garudadvita Krishnena cha vivashita. Anyone please repeat? Please repeat one. Tat kaliya param veda Nanya kaschana leliha Avatsid garudadvita Krishnena cha vivashita. Also, Tat kaliya param veda Nanya kaschana leliha Avatsid garudadvita Krishnena cha vivashita. And read this one.
This one. Tat kaliya param veda Nanya kaschana liliha Vatsida garudadvita Krishnena cha vivashitaha.
Get the others to recite.
One more?
Others to recite.
Next si nanay.
Get some water.
Okay.
Nanay, recite. Tapos na. Tapos na ako. Tat kaliya param veda. Tat kaliya param veda. Nanya kaschana leliha. Avatsid garudadvita. Krishnena cha Okay, ready everybody.
Okay. Word for word translation. That. Kalya. Kalya. Param. Only. Veda. New. Na. Not. Anya. Other. Kaschana. Any. Lila. Serpent. Vatse. He dwelt. Garuda. Of Garuda. Vita. Afraid. Krishnana. By Krishna. Ta. And. Vivasita. Expelled. Translation. As by based by Arjuna and Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Of all the serpents, only Kalia came to know this affair, and in fear of Garuda, he took up residence in the Yamuna lake. Later, Lord Krishna drove him out. You can repeat if you like.
Of all the serpents, only Kaliya came to know of this affair, and in fear of Garuda, he took up residence in that Yamuna lake. Later, Lord Krishna drove him out.
Okay, we'll continue reading. I'll just read. At least this one. Krishnam Hadat Viniskrantam Vidvishagandavasasam Mahamani Kirnam Jambunada Parispikam Gopalabhyojita Sarve Labdha Prana Ivashava Pramoda Nibitatmano Gopa Pitya Vire. Translation. Resuming his description of Krishna's chastisement of Kaliya, Sri Shukadev Goswami continued. Krishna rose up out of the lake wearing divine garlands, fragrances, and garments, covered with many fine jewels and decorated with gold. When the cowherds saw him, they all stood up immediately, just like an unconscious person's senses coming back to life. Filled with great joy, they affectionately embraced him. Yashoda Rohini Nanda Gopa Gopashta Kaurava Krishnam Samitya Labdeya Asam Suksa Nagati. Having regained their vital functions, Yashoda, Rohini, Nanda, and all the cowherd men and women went up to Krishna. All the descendant of Kuru, even the dried up trees came back to life.
Long one without a purpose.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll see how far we're going.
Another one.
Verse 16. Rama Chatyuta Malingya Jaha Sasyanu Bhavadu Kenatat Antam Arupya Puna Puna Jadakshata Garo Gavo Vishya Rasatayo Deviye Paramambudan. But Balaram embraced his infallible brother and laughed, knowing well the extent of Krishna's potencies. Out of great feelings of love, Balaram lifted Krishna up on his lap and repeatedly looked at him. The cows, bulls, and young female cows also achieved the highest pleasure. Nandam Vipra Samagatya Gururasa Kalakya Shuste Kali Akasko All the respectable Brahmanas, together with their wives, came forward to meet Nanda Maharaj. They said to him, "Your son was in the grips of Kaliya. By the grace of Providence, he is now free." Yehidanam Tijatinam Krishna Mukta Hetare Nanda Pitta Manavajan Vasuvarnam Tadatsi Tadarisat. The Brahmanas then advised Nanda Maharaj, to assure that your son Krishna will always be free from danger, you should give charity to the Brahmanas. With a satisfied mind, the king then arrives and very gladly gave them gifts of cows and gold. Verse 19. Yashorapi Mahabhava Nastalabda Prajasati Parisvatyam Dhammarokya Manushyasu Ayamu. The greatly fortunate Mother Yashoda, having lost her son and then regained him, placed him on her lap. That chaste lady cried constant torrents of tears as she repeatedly embraced him. Text 20, verse 20. Tam rakshim tachara jendra shutyam shamakash chita ushurajo kashogava avinja upakulata. Translation. O best of kings, Parikshit, because of the residents of Vrindavan were feeling very weak from hunger, thirst, and fatigue, they and the cows spent the night where they were, lying down near the bank of the Kalindi. Purport.
Finally.
Jai. Srila Jiva Goswami points out that although the people were weak from hunger and thirst, they did not drink the milk from the cows present here, because they feared that it had been contaminated by the serpent's poison. Residents of Vrindavan were so overjoyed to get back their beloved Krishna that they did not want to go back to their houses. They wanted to stay with Krishna on the bank of the Yamuna so they could continuously see him. Thus they decided to take rest near the riverbank. Wow. Om Jnana Timirandasya Vinandana Shalakya Chakshu Mudlamyanam Tasmai Shri Gurave Shri Chaitanya Vishnu Bhaktakamyan Bhutale Swaya Mukhakamyan Bhutale Swakya. Hey Krishna, Krishna, Dina Bandha Jiva Putaya, Gopisha, Gopika, Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gorangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Devya, Vanchakalpa Tubhyascha, Vikrasindhubhya Vicha, Patitanam, Bhaganebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale, Shrimate Parthasarthi Das Goswami Bhaktinamya Das Goswami Bande Navajna Samshayam Yam Deshe Guru Satakam Shikalasanam. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Janananda Goswami Bhaktinamya. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Bhaktinamya. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauram Prashani Yevishesha Shunyavadi Parascha Deshitami Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shvasari Gaura Bhakti. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So yeah, we're continuing this pastimes. So yeah, Kaliya. So it seems, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, only Kaliya knew of the affair that occurred between Garuda and Sabari Muni, and therefore Kaliya, being embarrassed by Garuda striking him with his left wing, then he took shelter of that section of the Yamuna River. Then you find here Shukadeva Goswami is going to great detail into this pastime. He's saying that Krishna rose out of the lake wearing divine garlands, fragrances, garments, covered with many jewels, decorated with gold, etc. When the cowherd men saw him, they all stood up immediately, just like unconscious person's senses coming back to life. Filled with great joy, they affectionately embraced him.
What is the word for embrace? Embrace. Apire, apire. Yeah, so
Krishna is the life-giving force of all living entities. There's this nice verse actually in the Krishna book, and it's just saying how really everything is coming from Krishna. Our life force, our ability to see, to breathe, all of our senses, the mind, intelligence, all of our abilities are coming from Krishna. There is a verse, there's a verse, Shabdakam, that Krishna is ability in man. What is that verse? 8.
Yeah, so how much soul can you play?
Yeah, but what?
8.7.
7, 8.
Sorry, you have that mixed up.
Shabdake Purusham Nishu. Shabdake. Close.
Pretty close.
Shabdake, that Krishna is the syllable of Om in the Vedic mantras.
In the ability of
And he's the sound and ether and ability in man. So all of our how to say abilities, all of our anything that is good that we are able to do, it is not really us doing it, it's really Krishna. So we find here that as soon as Krishna rose out of the water and the cow was immediately the life force was, I say, awakened. Because they have so much loving affection for Krishna. That immediately they rose up to, just like when you take darshan, then you're acting in a way in which Krishna can see you. So you're approaching in the appropriate manner. So yeah, these pastimes, now it's actually going into more details, more intimate, these verses. It shows by the Sanskrit that is being used here. Be there, they embraced him, etc. We see later on a couple of times they use the word aropya, ankam aropya, which means that both Balaram and also Yashoda Mata both raised him onto their laps. Both raised Krishna onto their laps. I mean, put Krishna on your lap, it's a very high kind of inconceivable activity. It is a very intimate how to say, intimate dealings that we are seeing here. So, having regained their vital functions, Yashoda, Rohini, Nanda, all the cowherd men and women went out to Krishna, and even the dried up trees came back to life. So, you see just by Krishna's presence that everything has life. Even the dried up trees came back to life, simply by the presence of Krishna. Because Krishna is in the hearts of everyone, the super soul. Even the individual soul, we are all parts and parcels of Krishna. Ayam Sajiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana.
And also
So,
Yeah. Eastern University.
yeah. Prakriti Stani Pashiti. So, there's no separate existence except for Krishna, actually. Krishna is everything, him and his energies. Everything is contained within the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna and Rama. And even Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says like that everything is contained within the name of Krishna and within the Maha Mantra. So, continuing on, Lord Balaram embraces brother, knowing well the extent of Krishna's powers. Out of great feelings of love, Balaram lifted Krishna up on his lap and repeatedly looked at him. The cows, bulls, and young cows also achieved the highest pleasure. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not really qualified to comment on these intimate, intimate relationships between Krishna and the residents of Vrindavan. But the residents of Vrindavan are always absorbed in thinking of Krishna, in glorifying Krishna and serving Krishna. They are 10%, engaged in pure devotional service. So, yeah, just by their dealings with Krishna, seeing Krishna, they achieve the highest pleasure. And, yeah, and even the cows, bulls, and calves, they're also in the mood of Sakyarats, actually, the cows. So, very wonderful to be a cow in Vrindavan. All the respectable Brahmanas, together with their wives, came forward to meet Nanda Maharaj. They said to him, your son was in the grace of Kaliya, but by the grace of Providence, he is now free. So it's another feature of Goloka Vrindavan, is that the residents, they do not perceive Krishna as being the Supreme Lord, but they simply see him as, according to their relationship with him, either in Tasya Ras, Sakya Ras, Vatsalya, Tasya Ras is in servitude, in a mood of servitude, in a mode of Sakyaras, friendship, Vatsalya Ras, mood of parentalhood, and also Shringar Ras, or Madhurya Ras, in mood of Anjali. So, Goloka Vrindavan is completely free from the concept of hard reverence, of seeing God as my master, as my provider, the creator, the sustainer, the controller of everything. Those kind of concepts are not there in the highest conception of God consciousness. Because Krishna wants us to relationship with Him that is free from awe and reverence. Because the relationship is not as close, it's not as intimate if we have those kind of boundaries in respect to relationships between one another. You may be friends with your boss, or may have kind of kind dealings between your boss and yourself, but still there is that position that he is the boss. So, there is a fine line, you cannot cross that line. In terms of the dealings that you have between him with your boss. And Krishna is, he doesn't want those, restrictions based on how we relate with him and how we develop our relationship with him. So, the residents of Vrindavan, whenever Krishna does something which is very wonderful, or very amazing, or unbelievable, then they simply say that it's simply by the grace of providence, or they say that it's that it must have been a demigod that had done this. That maybe it was Lord Indra or Lord Narayan. Maybe somehow Krishna maybe got empowered or something. Maybe. Although sometimes also in Vrindavan there are glimpses of foreign reverence. For instance, when Krishna was playing with the cowherd boys, and then when they returned back to the village, back to Krishna's home, then the cowherd boys blamed Krishna for eating dirt. And so then Mother Yashoda asked Krishna, "Did you eat dirt?" He said, "No, Mother, no. No, they are simply blaming me. I didn't eat dirt." And then Mother Yashoda asked, "Oh, then please show me your mouth, open your mouth, and I want to see, I think you're lying, Krishna." So then he opens his mouth and Mother Yashoda looks in, and then she sees the whole creation, everything. All the solar systems, all the different planets, galaxies, Milky Way, And then she becomes completely bewildered. And then for a moment she thinks...
You've been herself, Bishop.
Sorry?
You've been herself, Mother Yashoda.
Yeah.
And in the moment that happened,
Yeah.
over.
Like looking at her.
So yeah, she becomes bewildered, and then actually the Krishna's potency covered her momentarily. She could experience one reverence. She understood for a moment, oh, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, my son is the Supreme Lord. And then she stood back and immediately one reverence overcame her. But then immediately, because Krishna realizes, then he covered her again with the Yoga Maya. So, very wonderful pastimes. Yeah, many pastimes are like that, where occasionally the one reverence comes in, the Aishvarya Gyan. So just continuing. The Brahmanas then advised Nanda Maharaj to assure that your son Krishna will always be free from danger. To give charity to the Brahmanas. To the satisfied mind, O king, Nanda Maharaj was very gladly gave them gifts of cows and gold. I thought it was very funny when I read this. I thought, the Brahmanas were taking advantage of the situation.
Taking Lakshmi, yeah?
Yeah. They're using the situation to convince Nanda Maharaj to give us charity. Come on, you're rich. You're the king of Vrindavan. You have millions of cows. You have heaps of gold. You should give us some. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's actually the duty of the Brahmanas, to ask for charity and then to distribute it. The Brahmanas, they only keep what they need, the bare minimum. And then after that, then the cows and the gold, they distribute it. They distribute it to those who they feel are qualified to accept that kind of charity. Continuing. The greatly fortunate Mother Yashoda, having lost her son and regained him, placed him on her lap. That chaste lady cried constant tears, torrents of tears, as she repeatedly embraced him. So, sometimes you can understand, because the material world is a reflection, a very reflection of the spiritual world. So, to lose your son or to have your child die before you is probably the kind of worst experience that a parent, or you, especially a mother, can ever experience. And this is being presented here also. Mother Yashoda. She thought that her son had died. She thought for sure that her son, baby Krishna, for sure that he would not survive the grips of Kaliya. And then, because he had disappeared beneath the water, she thought for sure that she would never see him again. So, seeing Krishna rise out from the water, with all his jewels, all the jewels that Mother Yashoda is dressing, is dressing Krishna with all these jewels, these beautiful ornaments, etc. So, seeing Krishna again, it immediately gave her so much relief, so much joy. And then she raised him on her lap. Again, this word Arokya is used in. And she cried torrents of tears and repeatedly embraced him. So they say that the most purest kind of love in the material world is the mother's love for her child, for her son. So that kind of love is the closest thing that we can understand to the love that Mother Yashoda has for Lord Krishna, Baby Krishna. So then, Shukadeva Goswami continues, he says, because the residents of Vrindavan were really feeling very weak from hunger, thirst and fatigue, they and the cows spent the night where they were, lying down near the bank of Kalindi. Kalindi is another word for the Yamuna. Very interesting, Shukadeva Goswami relates in the purport that the residents of Vrindavan actually feared that the cows had been contaminated because they drank the milk from the Yamuna where Kaliya was present. And thus they were concerned that their milk had been poisoned or contaminated. And so they did not drink the milk from those cows that were present. The residents of Vrindavan, then so overjoyed to get their beloved Krishna, they did not want to go back to their houses. They wanted to stay with Krishna on the bank of the Yamuna so that they could continuously see him. So they decided to take rest near the river bank. So this is natural. If your dearly beloved person has, I would say, come back from overseas, come back from the war, then you naturally want to celebrate their return. And you want to hold a small gathering, a party, etc., so that you can spend more time with that person. And this is also shown here, or this is also practiced by the residents of Vrindavan. They're so much in love with Krishna that they simply want to spend all their time with Krishna. They don't make any arrangements to be with Krishna and to serve Krishna. Unfortunately, they couldn't drink the milk, from the cows. So I wonder how they celebrated. They just took rest, I guess. Yeah, these are very intimate pastimes. I can only really discuss what's here. I don't go so deep, but yeah, does anyone have any comments just now, as I take a short break, and then afterwards, we read the rest of Krishna book. It's just a few more pages of there. Does anyone have any comments or questions? No, okay. So I just read from Krishna book because we're almost finished from last time we were reading. Krishna book ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. The wives of the serpent, known as the Nagapatnis, saw that their husbands were being subdued by the kicking of the Lord, within whose womb the whole universe remains. Kali's wives prepared to worship the Lord, although in their haste, their dress, hair, and ornaments became disarrayed. They also surrendered under the Supreme Lord and began to pray. They appeared before him, put forward their offspring, and anxiously offered respectful obeisances. Falling down on the bank of the Yamuna, the Nagapatnis knew that Krishna was the shelter of all surrendered souls, and they desired to release their husband from the impending danger by pleasing the Lord with their prayers. The Nagapatnis began to offer their prayers as follows. O dear Lord, you are equal to everyone. For you there is no distinction between your sons, friends, or enemies. Therefore, the punishment which you have so kindly offered to Kaliya is exactly befitting. O Lord, you have descended especially for the purpose of annihilating all kinds of disturbing elements within the world. And because you are the absolute truth, there is no difference between your mercy and punishment. We think therefore that this apparent punishment to Kaliya is actually some benediction. We consider that your punishment is your great mercy upon us. When you punish someone, it is to be understood that the reactions of its sinful activities are eradicated. It is already clear that this creature appearing in the body of a serpent must have been overburdened with all kinds of sin. Otherwise, how could he have the body of a serpent? For dancing on his hooves produces all the sinful results of actions caused by his having this body of a serpent. It is therefore very auspicious that you have become angry and have punished him in this way. We are very astonished to see how you have become so pleased with the serpent, who evidently performed various religious activities in his past lives. Everyone must have been pleased by his undergoing all kinds of penances and austerities. He must have executed universal welfare activities for all living creatures. So it's very funny here that the Nagapatnis, they are praying, they are saying that that Kaliya must have been very sinful. Your punishment, you punish someone, it's understood that reaction to sinful activities are eradicated. He's saying, how could this creature, Kaliya, must have been overburdened with so many sins. Otherwise, how could he have the body of a serpent? And therefore, and then afterwards, they're saying, actually it's very auspicious that you have become angry and punished him in this way. And we are astonished to see how you have become so pleased with the serpent, who has evidently performed various religious activities in his past lives. So they're immediately contradicting themselves, saying that Kaliya is so sinful that he's a snake, but at the same time, because you have danced upon his heads, on the hoods of Kaliya, that he must have performed so many religious activities in his past life. So it's very funny. Everyone must have been pleased by his undergoing of all kinds of penances and austerities, and he must have executed universal welfare activities for all living creatures. Nagapatnis confirmed that one cannot come in contact with Krishna without having executed pious activities in devotional service in his previous life. As Lord Caitanya advised in his Shikshastakam, one has to execute devotional service by humbly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street, and not expecting honor for himself, but offering all kinds of honor to others. The Nagapatnis were astonished that Although Kaliya had the body of a serpent as a result of grievous sinful activity, at the same time he was in contact with the Lord to the extent that the Lord's lotus feet were touching his boots. Certainly this was not the ordinary result of pious activity. These two contradictory facts astonished them. Thus they continued to pray. O dear Lord, we are simply astonished to see that he is so fortunate as to have the dust of your lotus feet on his head. This is a fortune sought after by great saintly persons. Even the goddess of fortune underwent severe austerities just to have the blessing of the dust of your lotus feet. So how is it that Kaliya is so easily getting this dust on his head? We have heard from authoritative sources that those who are blessed with the dust of your lotus feet do not care even for the highest post within the universe, namely the post of Lord Brahma, or the kingship of heavenly planets, or the sovereignty of this planet. Nor do such persons desire to rule the planets above this earth, such as Siddhaloka, nor do they aspire for the mystic powers achieved by the yoga process. Nor do the pure devotees aspire for liberation by becoming one with you. My Lord, although he is born in a species of life which is fostered by the most abominable modes of material nature, accompanied with the quality of anger, this king of the serpents has achieved something very, very rare. Living entities who are wandering within this universe in getting different species of life can very easily achieve the greatest benediction only by your mercy. And so here the Nagapatnis are describing all the qualities of the pure devotee. That they do not desire any high post within this material world. They do not desire any mystic perfections or liberation. So, how does that verse go? Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana kamini avritam nupuyana krishna nusyanam bhakti uttama. So, the pure devotees, a pure devotional service is described that it should be free from all types of fruitive activities, fruitive work to expect something in return, and then also should be free from mental speculation, mental concoction, philosophical thought. So yeah, it is confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita that the living entities are wandering within the universe in various stages of life. But by the mercy of Krishna and his spiritual master, they can get to see the devotional service, unless their path of liberation can be cleared. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you, the Nagapatnis continued. Our dear Lord, because you are the Supreme Person, you are living as a supersoul within every living entity. Although you are transcendental to the cosmic manifestation, everything is resting in you. You are the personified, indefatigable, eternal time. The entire time force is existing in you. And you are therefore the seer and the embodiment of total time in the past, in the shape of past, present, and future. Month, day, hour, moment, everything. In other words, O Lord, you can see perfectly all the activities happening in every moment, in every hour, in every day, every year, past, present, and future. You are yourself the universal form, and yet you are different from this universe. You are simultaneously one and different from the universe. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you. You are yourself the whole universe, and yet you are the creator of the whole universe. You are the superintendent and maintainer of this whole universe, and you are its original cause. Although you are present within this universe by your three qualitative incarnations, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, you are transcendental to the material creation. Although you are the cause of the appearance of all kinds of living entities, their senses, their lives, mind, intelligence, you are to be realized by your internal energy. Let us therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you, who are unlimited, finer than the finest, the center of all creation and knower of everything. Different varieties of philosophical speculators try to reach you. You are the ultimate goal of all philosophical efforts, and you are actually described by all philosophies and by different kinds of doctrines. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto you, because you are the origin of all scripture and the source of knowledge. You are the root of all evidences, and you are the supreme person who can bestow upon us supreme knowledge. You are the cause of all kinds of desires, and you are the cause of all kinds of satisfaction. You are the Vedas personified, therefore we offer our obeisances. We offer you our respectful obeisances. So there's like 2 pages left. You don't want to keep reading, or you can take prasadam now and I can continue. Okay. It's not much left. Anyway, if anyone has any service, then you can go. Because the time is up. Our dear Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and you are also the Supreme Enjoyer, now appeared as the son of Vasudeva, who is a manifestation of the pure state of goodness. You are the predominating deity of mind and intelligence, Arjuna and Aniruddha, and you are the Lord of the Vaishnavas. By your expansions as Chaturvyuha, namely Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Aniruddha and Arjuna, you are the cause of the development of mind and intelligence. By your activities only, living entities become covered by forgetfulness or discover their real identity. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. In the 15th chapter, the Lord is sitting as a supersoul in everyone's heart, and due to his presence, the living entity either forgets himself or revives his original identity. We can partially understand that you are within our hearts as a witness of all our activities, but it is very difficult to appreciate your presence. Although every one of us can do to some extent, you are the supreme controller of both the material and spiritual energies. Therefore, you are the supreme leader, although you are different from his cosmic manifestation. You are the witness and creator and the very ingredient of his cosmic manifestation. You are the witness and creator. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you. It's very amazing, huh? I noticed this section. You are the very ingredient of the cosmic manifestation. Usually when you have to make something, then you need many ingredients. I was thinking yesterday, Mataji, she made some cheesecake. And you need like a lot of ingredients.
The gelatin is not cooked well because we're rushing, that's why the texture is bad.
It's okay. It still tastes good. That's what counts. But Krishna is the only ingredient of the whole cosmic manifestation. That's such an amazing statement. I mean, these Nagapandis, they're so expert at glorifying Krishna. It'd be so nice to be able to glorify Krishna like this. To have such, let's say, expertise in glorifying Krishna. I was also going to say something else. Where was it? Something else I was going to say. I can't find it. Anyway, maybe it will come to me afterwards. So anyway, our dear, you are the witness and creator. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Our dear Lord, in the matter of creating this cosmic manifestation, firstly you have nothing to exert. By expending your different kinds of energy, namely the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, you can create, maintain, and annihilate this cosmic manifestation. As the controller of the entire time course, you can simply glance over the material energy, create this universe, and energize the different forces of material nature, which are acting differently in different creatures. No one can estimate, therefore, how your activities are going on within this world. Our dear Lord, although you have expanded into the 3 principal deities of this universe, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, for creation, maintenance, and destruction, your appearance as Lord Vishnu is actually for the benediction of living creatures. Therefore, for those who are actually peaceful and who are aspiring after the supreme peace, worship, of your peaceful appearance as Lord Vishnu is recommended. O Lord, we are submitting our prayers unto you. You can appreciate that this poor serpent is going to give up his life. You know that for us women, our lives and everything are our husbands. Therefore, we are praying unto you that you kindly excuse Kalia, our husband. Because if the serpent dies, then we shall be in great difficulty. Looking upon us only, please excuse this great offender. Our dear Lord, every living creature is your offspring, and you maintain everyone. This serpent is also your offspring, and you can excuse him although he has offended you. Undoubtedly, without knowing your potency, has offended you, undoubtedly, without knowing your potency. We are praying that he may be excused for this time. Our dear Lord, we are offering our loving service unto you, because we are all eternal servitors of your Lordship. You can order us and ask us to do whatever you please. Every living being can be relieved from all kinds of despair if he agrees to abide by your orders. After the Nandapatnis submitted their prayers, but Krishna released Kaliya from his punishment. Kaliya was already unconscious from being struck by the Lord. Upon regaining consciousness and being released from the punishment, Kaliya got back his life force and the working power of his senses. With folded hands, he humbly began to pray to the Supreme Lord Krishna. My dear Lord, I have been born in such a species that by nature I am angry and envious. Being the darkest region of the mode of ignorance, your Lordship knows well that it is very difficult to give up one's natural instincts. Although by such instincts, the living creature transmigrates from one body to another. It is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that it is very difficult to get out of the clutches of material nature. But if anyone surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the modes of material nature can no longer act upon him. My dear Lord, let Kaliya continue. You are therefore the original creator of all kinds of modes of material nature, by which the universe is created. You are the cause of the different kinds of mentalities possessed by living creatures, for which they have attained different varieties of bodies. My dear Lord, I am born as a serpent, therefore by natural instinct I am very angry. How is it then possible to give up my acquired nature without your mercy? It is very difficult to get out of the clutches of Maya, of your Maya. By your Maya we remain enslaved. My dear Lord, kindly excuse me for my inevitable material tendencies. Now you can punish me or save me as you desire. After hearing this, the Supreme Person of Godhead, who was acting as a small human child, ordered the serpent thus: you must immediately leave this place and go to the ocean. Leave without delay. You can take with you all your offspring, wives, and everything you possess. Don't pollute the waters of the Yamuna. Let it be drunk by my cows and cowherd boys without hindrance. The Lord then declared that the order given to the Kaliya snake be recited and heard by everyone, so that no one need fear Kaliya any longer. Anyone who hears the narration of the Kaliya serpent and his punishment will need fear no more the envious activities of snakes. The Lord also declared, if one takes a bath in the Kaliya lake with my cowherd boy friends, and I have bathed, or if one fasting for a day offers oblations to the forefathers from the water of this lake, he will be relieved from all kinds of sinful reaction. The Lord also assured Kaliya, you came here out of fear of Garuda, who wanted to eat you in a beautiful land by the ocean. Now, after seeing the marks where I have touched your head with my lotus feet, Garuda will not disturb you. The Lord was pleased with Kaliya and his wives. Immediately after hearing his order, the wives began to worship him with great offering of nice garments, flowers, garlands, jewels, ornaments, sandalwood pulp, lotus flowers, and nice eatable fruits. In this way, they pleased the master of Garuda, of whom they were very much afraid. Then, obeying the orders of Lord Krishna, all of them left the lake within the Yamuna. Thus ends Bhaktivedanta Purport, the 16th chapter of Krishna subduing Kaliya. Jai. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Itai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Go. I really like that because the Nagapatnis, they are the wives of Kaliya. So they are snakes. But still they are great devotees of Krishna. And there's this verse also, I wish I could find it.